Today we're counting down Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards by PSA 10 Gem Rate. The market data here is as of 2026. The history is timeless. Let's get to the cards. I have a lot of nostalgia for Mother's Cookies. You probably do too if you grew up on the West Coast. This Griffey is part of a Mariners team set giveaway at the old Kingdome. The cards were handed out at the stadium in a little envelope. I think that protected them. That's why there's a 67% gem rate on this card versus the ones that were distributed in cookies packages. They only have a 35 to 40% gem rate. There is no CardLadder data on this since it's a more lightly traded card. But last sale on eBay, $134. That's a series low. Also series lows in the 9 to 10 price premium since it's so easy to get a 10. And then also there's more 10s than 9s here, another series low. But I really like this card and brings back a lot of memories for me. Number 8, Scoremasters. This was a 42 card box set with eye-catching artwork. Really has a 1980s feel to me. I could see like a Gordon Gekko having a version of this on his wall as a painting. 27% gem rate. It's up 20% in the last 3 months. Series low in PSA 10 population, 1,468. Also have several other highlights here. Series low in active eBay listings, only 4, despite 36 sales in the last 90 days. This card has really churned through sales, but now there's nothing listed. That's reflected by just 0.3 months of supply, tightest supply. And a new metric I put in here, 90-day turnover percentage, 2.45%. So a lot of these cards are turning over, changing hands. But at the same time, there's not a lot listed on eBay at the moment. Number 7, Score Traded. So this was a box set as well. Score somehow missed the boat and didn't include Griffey in their regular set, but they made up for it by including him in 2 box sets. This is a more standard card that you would think of. 18.5% gem rate. The card is only up 5%, series low. This card is just not as popular as some of the other Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards for whatever reason. I guess maybe Score is not as popular of a brand as others. $191 in PSA 10, 6x PSA 10 price premium. 1.6 months of supply. There's plenty of supply here, but 45 sales. You know, this card is still selling briskly, given it is Ken Griffey Jr. Topps Traded. Topps was another one that missed out on putting a Griffey in their regular issue set. I was reading, it looks like maybe it was production deadline, and also they felt they didn't need to take a risk on Griffey at the time. Anyway, they got him in the Topps Traded set, and they sold a lot of Topps Traded sets. 92,000 submissions on this card, 14,870 PSA 10s. That's a series high. 31% increase in the last 3 months. This is the card people like, regardless of the quantity. There is a lot of supply on eBay. 2.4 months of supply right now, 64 listings. Those are both series high. But very little of the population is actually turned over because there's so many of them. 0.54% 90-day turnover. 80 sales in PSA 10, 153 in PSA 9. 6x price premium ratio here, $206 for a PSA 10. Now we have the Donruss Rookies, another box set. Donruss issued a box set, so they made sure to get 2 Griffey cards in, just like Score. We'll be coming to the Donruss later. 11.7% gem rate, 16,000 submissions on this one. The paper stock on this was pretty thin, contributing to the lower gem rate despite it being a box set. $504 in PSA 10, 11x price ratio, reflecting the harder to gem rate. Not a lot of supply here, less than a month. Right now, there was no CardLadder data for the PSA 9, but 30 PSA 10s in the last 90 days. Number 4 is Fleer. 8.5% gem rate, up 38% in the last 3 months. This is a series high. Fleer was smart and they included him in their regular set. So that was nice to see him there. This card, though, is prone to print defects and other problems that appeared with Fleer over the years. You see that with Fleer basketball as well. $314 in PSA 10, 12x price premium. There's a lot more 9s than 10s, 5.9x on this card. Very nice looking card. It's also prone to centering issues as well. At number 3, Bowman. This was Bowman's revival in 1989, the first year of Bowman. Topps brought it back after a 30-year absence. These cards are oversized, which I think contributes to them showing any sort of wear more, plus the white borders. And I remember getting these cards and saying, well, where am I going to put them? They don't fit in the standard boxes. They don't fit in the standard pages. You had to buy separate stuff to fit these cards. I think that contributed to the lower gem rate. It's up 18% in the last 3 months. A lot of supply turning over here. 2.02% 90-day turnover. 14x price ratio. $635 in the PSA 10, reflecting the difficulty it is to gem this card. Number 2 is the standard Donruss. So this was available in packs and in factory sets. But like I said before, with the Donruss Rookies, just a thin paper stock, thinner than Fleer or its competitors. 4.2% gem rate. It's really showing that the distribution method on top of this style of card contributes to the lower gem rate. If you recall, the Donruss Rookies gem rate was 11.7%. It's almost 3 times harder to get a gem on the pack pull Donruss versus the Donruss Rookies, even though it's the same card stock. This card is up, second highest on the list, up 31% in the last 90 days. $11.77, I believe that's the second most expensive card on our countdown. 32x 10-to-9 price ratio, that's a series high. People are paying up for this card because it's so hard to get in PSA 10 relative to PSA 9 and other grades, even lower than PSA 9. You send this in, you get a 6 or a 7 because there's a corner or an edge significantly damaged. Only 5 active eBay listings for this card at the moment. And the card you've probably been waiting for at number 1, the most iconic card probably in the hobby, or at least in the modern era. Upper Deck made a bet on the number 1 pick in the 1987 draft. That was Ken Griffey Jr. They made him number 1 in their set. They took the risk. Certainly paid off for them. It's the most graded baseball card of all time. 132,000 submissions, but only a 3.3% gem rate. In terms of the rumor here of entire sheets or printing plates of Griffey, I looked into that more. Apparently a Upper Deck plant manager said he never saw such a printing plate with all Griffeys, but there is, he did acknowledge that they printed extra sheets of the set for damage replacements. So if you had a damaged card, you could send it back to Upper Deck and they would send you a replacement. There's just a lot of these cards. I saw an estimate, maybe there's 2 million of these circulating potentially. And then you also have the factory sets, but the factory sets actually do not help in this case to get a gem, since they're at the beginning of the set, being card number 1. They're also prone to damage. This card is the highest in our countdown at $5,000. I know it's not as up as it has been, but it's been up significantly in the last couple of years. Even if the last 90 days, it's a little more moderate increase, almost $5,000. 9 to 10 supply ratio, the 9s to 10, 7.7x. You know, centering is tough on this card too. You also have the hologram on the back that can get scratched or it can be graded very harshly. Very little supply on this card, less than a month. This card is still very hot. 78 sales in PSA 10, 170 PSA 9. There's 10 active eBay listings of this card. Series highlights. Just went through the Upper Deck, it being the highest price and hardest to gem, and the supply ratio also being the highest. Mother's Cookies, the highest, easiest to gem here, 67%. The largest increase, Fleer, 38%. Topps Traded, that real active card, 80 sales, 64 eBay listings. The Scoremasters with that high turnover, yet a low months of supply here. And just to see the top 9 visually in order here, the gem rates, and to see the ratio and supply here. Kind of get a perspective as a whole. Like I said before, the Mother's Cookies doesn't have all the data because it's more thinly traded, but like I said, I really like that card, so I decided to include it, and it met the threshold to be included. But yeah, that's the full breakdown. 9 Griffey rookies with some history mixed in. Data is as of 2026. The history is timeless. See you on the next video. Thanks.